Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Praful John and I'm a student of International Institute of Professional Studies DAVB Indore. Currently I'm pursuing Masters in Technology in the field of Information Technology. This video is part of my assignment which is submitted to Dr. Shaligram Prajapat sir. The topic of the video is security models. We'll be looking at various security models like Biba integrity model and Clark-Wilson model. So let's get started. Topic we will cover in this video: Introduction to security models. We'll be looking at definition of security model, why security models are needed, types of security models. Then we'll be looking at one of the security model, which is Biba model. The three rules of Biba model, advantages and disadvantages of Biba model. Then we'll be looking at Clark-Wilson model, components of Clark-Wilson models, integrity goals of Clark-Wilson model. Let's start with the introduction to security models. So what does the definition says of security model? A security model is a computer model which can be used to identify and impose security policies. It does not need some prior formation. It can be founded on access right model or analyzing computing models or computation models. Why do we need security models? In the world of cybersecurity, security models plays a crucial role in ensuring the CIA of information. So we'll be looking at what is CIA of information in a while. A security model is a framework that outlines the various security measures that an organization or system should implement to protect its assets from unauthorized access and malicious attacks. So what does CIA stands for? CIA stands for confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Confidentiality is referred to protecting the data from unauthorized access. Concept of data held in confidence is known as confidentiality of data. Integrity is used to validate the data, the accuracy, completeness, and reliability of information, right? And availability stands for when an information system provides services within acceptable time period and from protected unauthorized disruption. Then it is known as availability. So we need security model to ensure that these all three are maintained. Types of security models. There are three main types of classic security models, namely Bella-Padula model. This model is used to ensure the confidentiality of information. The Biba model, which we'll be discussing in this video, so it is also known as Biba integrity model. So this model is used to ensure the integrity of information. That is why it is known as Biba integrity model, right? Clark-Wilson model. This model provides the highest security to the security model. Biba model. The Biba integrity model is security model that focuses on data integrity rather than confidentiality. So that is why it is known as Biba integrity model, because it focuses on integrity. We've learned what is integrity. It is the accuracy, completeness, and reliability of the data, right? So this model focuses on the integrity of data rather than confidentiality of data. Confidentiality of the data, I'm going to repeat that again. It is the data held in confidence. So it will focus more on integrity. That is why it is Biba integrity model. It is mandatory access control model that ensures that data is not modified or corrupted by unauthorized uses, right? Let's look at Biba model, the rules it follows. There are three rules which it follows. Simple integrity rule. This rule is called no read down rule because the user can read the files only on the same layer of secrecy and the upper layer of secrecy, but cannot read the files on the lower layer of secrecy. So if the user is on this level of secrecy, he cannot or she cannot read the files in this the lower layer of secrecy, but it can read the files on the upper layer of secrecy, right? The second rule is star integrity rule. The star integrity rule states that the user can only write the files on the same layer of secrecy and the lower layer of secrecy, but not on the upper layer of secrecy, due to which we call this rule as no write up. So this is pretty clear. The user, if the user is on this level of secrecy, he or she can write on the lower layer of the secrecy, and the same layer of secrecy, not the upper layer of secrecy. The last rule is strong star integrity rule. This rule is called the no read write up down rule. So what it states, the user can read and write the files on the same layer of secrecy only, but cannot read and write the files on the upper or lower layer of secrecy. If the user is on this level of secrecy, he or she cannot write on the files on this layer of secrecy, or he or she cannot write and read this layer of secrecy, the upper layer and the lower layer. He or she can write only in the layer of secrecy which it is on, right? So what are the advantages of Biba models? I'll just read it out. The statements are pretty clear. The Biba model is it simple and easy to implement. It is very simple and easy to implement. The Biba model provides a number of different policies that can be selected based on need, right? If like it can be selected on the based on rules. Disadvantage of Biba model are the model does nothing to enforce confidentiality. We have already learned this on the definition. The Biba model doesn't support the granting and revocation of authorization. To use this model, all component computers in the system must support the labeling of integrity for both subjects and objects. To date, there is no network protocol that supports this labeling. So there are various network protocols, and they does not support this labeling. So there are problem with using Biba model in a network environment. So there is a problem when we use this in the network environment. Clark-Wilson model. The Clark-Wilson model is a security model that focuses on data integrity and transaction processing. So transaction processing is when we do a transaction while we are banking, like online banking, right? So that time transaction processing is done, and this model focuses on data integrity and transaction processing. It is a discretionary access control model that ensures that data is not modified or corrupted during transaction. So it ensures that the data is not modified when there is an ongoing transaction. So it controls that. The component of Clark-Wilson model the model is based on three main components, which are the the constrained data item, the transformation process, and the integration verification process. So the constrained data items is also known as CDI. The CDI is a data item that is subject to integrity constraints. The transformation process, the TP is a procedure that transforms the CDI from one valid state to another. The integrity verification process, the IVP, verifies that the transformation has occurred correctly or not. This model is often used in commercial and financial setting where transaction processing is critical. So when there is a transaction process, and when there is a financial setting, when there is something related to money, when there is something related to finance, this model is used. And also when there is something related to transaction processing, it is used. So the integrity goals of Clark-Wilson model are prevention of unauthorized user from making modification. So this point is pretty clear. Separation of duty prevents authorized user from making improper modification. So there should be separation of duties for a particular duty. Like there should be plurality when it comes to doing some tasks. Like there should be plurality of conditions which needs to be fulfilled to do some tasks. Well-formed transactions maintain internal and external consistency. That is, it is a series of operations that are carried out to transfer the data from one consistent state to another. So that every thing should be well-formed transaction. So I hope you learned something from this video, and thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day.